I don't know why only 49% of the teams in Yahoo have ownership of Steve Cizek. It should be higher than that. So on this season, he's 1-1 with a 2.45 ERA, 4 saves, 23 Ks, and 22.1 innings pitched with a 1.05 whip. But in the last 7 days, Cizek is 1-0 with a 0.00 ERA. He's got 2 saves and 2 Ks and 3 innings pitched with a 0.33 whip. As I said, guys, Cizek's the closer in Chicago. Pick him up. Make that number go higher. This next guy's kind of a feel. I've liked what I've seen out of him. He actually got dropped in one of my leagues, and I picked him up quickly. Mr. Griffin Canning. This is a guy who has a ton of talent. At 24% owned in Yahoo, I think that is too low. He was one of the first pitchers up. So, obviously the kid's talented. On the season, Canning is 2-1. He's got a 3.60 ERA, 24 Ks and 21.1 innings pitched, and a 1.06 whip. But his last time out, he went 7 innings, gave up no runs, had 5 Ks, and a .57 whip. So he flashed a little bit of his potential. Canning is definitely someone that you should keep an eye on. If he's available and you need a pitcher, you like lots of strikeouts, this is a guy. I said this last week, I'll say it again this week. I suggest you pair up Griffin Canning and Jalen Beeks. Because Canning's ERA might get a little bit bloated, but the strikeouts you get from those two are going to give you 2 pretty good statistical balances. Okay? So if you need 2 pitchers, Canning and Beeks, I would highly suggest. It's unconventional, but it can get you there, okay? Marwin Gonzalez, we talked about, 38% owned in Yahoo. His last 14 days, he's hitting .357, 2 homers, 11 runs, and 5 RBIs. Logan Forsythe, we talked about, he's 12% owned, guys. In his last 14 days, his last 7 days, he's hitting .474, as I said earlier. I won't go on about that. Here's a prospect. I don't know if he's still a prospect or not, but he's close. How about Willie Calhoun, guys? I spent more than I'd like to admit on Fab on Willie Calhoun, but I'm happy to have him. Willie Calhoun, in 21 at-bats, is hitting .471, 2 homers, 5 runs, and 7 RBIs. This is a guy who was an all-everything prospect a couple years ago. He certainly looks like he may have found something. Watch out for playing time with Calhoun, but if you see where he's playing all the time, Willie Calhoun can give you some serious power numbers and good average to boot. I think he could hit you around 290. I think he could hit 25 home runs. If you want that in your lineup, watch Calhoun. Sorry, not the last guy. The next guy is maybe falling into some playing time. It's Scott Kingery. Scott Kingery is only 31% owned, folks. But he's hitting .389 on the season. He's just coming back from an injury. I think it was Franco got hurt. That gives him some ability to have some playing time. Sorry, I don't have that in front of me. But he will have some playing time coming forward. Kingery, again, last year was supposed to be this heralded rookie. It didn't pan out. He has shown glimpses this year. He is now getting opportunity. Kingery might very well be a good pickup. I talked about Gio Urshela last week. I think Arnie was down in the dumps a little bit. I made him smile. Gio Urshela is only 90% owned. I liken him a lot to a Jeff McNeil type in that he's not going to kill you with home runs or stolen bases or hell, even runs or RBIs. I mean, he's serviceable there, right? But where he's been, his biggest asset so far is he's at .364. So, I mean, yeah, you can go out and take a chance on, some guy on the heap that's going to hurt your average. But if you got a pretty good average and you don't want to mess that up, Gio Urshela is your man. At 19% owned, I'll take a 364 average. I don't give a shit if he's hitting 2 homers. Who cares? It's just a stopgap anyway, right? So, again, something to consider if you're in that boat. You might want to think that way. Gio Gonzalez, 40% owned, guys. Here's a guy thrown away from the Yankees, ends up back with the Brew Crew. He's 2-0 with a 1.69 ERA, 15 Ks and 21 innings pitched, and a 1.08 whip. Guys, he's 40% owned. You can have him for a song. And then lastly, from the waiver wire perspective, is Nicky Lopez. That's right. Royals, paying attention? Nicky Lopez, guys. 16% owned. I love this kid's opportunity. This kid's opportunity is hitting seconds in a pretty potent Royals offense. I know they're not very good, but put me between Whit Merrifield, Adalberto Mondesi, and some of those other Soler and Dozier and those guys. I think I could hit between those guys. Nicky Lopez is hitting 320 so far, just 25 at-bats. 3 runs and an RBI. But I look for some stolen bases to come. I look for a little bit of pop. This is a kid to watch. If you're in a dynasty league, this is a kid to target. He's probably already been taken. So, 8 minutes left. I want to talk about real quick some prospects, some minor league guys, some newly called up guys. How about Austin Riley? My boy Austin Riley. I just traded for him. And I'm already tempted to trade him again. Austin Riley is 66% owned in Yahoo. That's criminal. This kid's an all-star, okay? He's hitting 421 in the minors. No, this is his major league. 421, 8 of 19 with 2 homers, 4 runs, and 4 RBIs. Again, in just 19 at-bats, 2 home runs already. This kid's 22. He is such a stud, guys. But what's funny? Every rookie's a chance, as Lenny always says. How about Brendan Rodgers? Brendan Rodgers is not doing so great. He's hitting 125. He's 1 for 8. 0-0 and 1 RBI. So those are the 2 guys that were called up that I'm speaking of today. Some guys that, are on the horizon still. Jesus Luzardo, I've talked about him for weeks. Zach Gallen, he's 5-0 with a 1.14 ERA, a 0.57 whip, and 47 innings pitched. He's got 55 Ks. Zach Gallen's a surefire stud. But the biggest stud of all of these guys is Yordan Alvarez. God, I got a bunch of stuff on Yordan Alvarez. I'm not going to be able to get to it. So I'm just going to jump right into what I got. Here's Alvarez's numbers. This is as of last night. There were some fireworks last night. So things have changed. But all of these numbers are fairly consistent, except for some tallying stats. So, Yordan Alvarez, total bases, 129. He's in first place of all of the minor league players. 1-8, so he's 11 ahead of the next player. Pretty significant gap. OPS, 1.378, first in all of the minors. The next closest is 1.196. Again, a significant gap. Slugging percentage, .884, first, and all of these are first except for one. 884 to 750, again, over 100-point gap. OBP, 494 on base percentage, guys. He's got 55 RBIs, okay? First in all the minors. 18 homers. I think he hit 119, so I think it's 19 now. That's second behind Kevin Crone. Kevin Crone's got his own little thing going on. We'll talk about that in a second, I hope. Runs, 38. He's tied for first in runs. Again, all of these numbers are in the entire minor league organization, okay? Not just in AAA, not just in the Pacific Coast League. All minors players. And, of course, batting average, 411. First. This kid, I don't know why he's still in the minors. But, yeah, I do. Houston's loaded and there's no room for him. So, with that in mind, I got one more guy I want to talk about. And this guy he's maybe not as flashy, but he's maybe a name. And damn it, Lenny talked about him this morning. I didn't think anybody was going to talk about him. Kevin Crone, a 26-year-old rookie. But fact of the matter is, guys, he's killing the ball, okay? So here are some numbers from Kevin Crone. And again, keep in mind that Jordan Alvarez is basically dominating all these numbers. So take him out of the equation. Here's where he stands, okay? Again, Kevin Crone leads all of the minor leagues in homers. I think he hit 2 last night. He's at 21, I believe, for the year, but he is in first place clearly. RBIs, 54. Again, these are last night's stats. He kind of went bananas last night. He is second, so just behind Alvarez. Runs, 37. He is third. Total bases, 118. He is second. OPS, he is second. And slugging, he is second. So basically, you take Jordan Alvarez out of the equation, Kevin Crone is Jordan Alvarez. So just something to think about. Maybe one of these sneaky guys that, you hear him get called up, you put it in the back of your memory, you hear him get called up, and you just stash him and see what happens, right? So, again, not a heralded rookie, but could pay benefits if it all works out. And if not, hey, you just throw him back and take the next chance, right? I got 3 minutes left. I want to talk about, Mitch Keller, okay? So, the Pirates need to start tonight or tomorrow night. Keller's start in Indianapolis, scheduled on Sunday, was pushed back. I'm guessing Mitch Keller's going to start for the Pirates tomorrow against the Colorado Rockies. So, that is big news. He is, I actually went to see Mitch Keller on opening night here in Indianapolis. His stuff is pretty impressive. He's 4-0 on the year. He's got a 3.83 ERA, 40 innings pitched, 50 Ks, and a 1.50 WHIP. So I think that he's obviously going to be on a bit of an innings limit, but it'll surely be interesting to see his stuff, especially against an offense such as Colorado's. I am excited to see it. I will definitely be tuned in to watch his debut, just as I was to watch his season debut. So, Mitch Keller on the way for the Pirates. The scrapping, fighting Pirates. Hopefully gives them a shot in the arm like some of these other rookies have for some other teams. They certainly are overachieving at this point, but I think there's still more room in the tank for improvement from the Pirates. So, big news out of Pittsburgh and here in Indianapolis that another guy's going to the show, to quote Abby Calvin LaLouche. So, congrats to Mr. Keller if it's all true. A couple other guys, just real quick. Jorge Mateo. He's an interesting character. He's a middle infielder for the Athletics. He's hitting .361 on the year, 6 home runs, 35 runs, and 37 RBIs. He's stolen 11 of 14 bases. Guys, this is a stolen base premium guy. He's playing a premium position at shortstop, second shortstop. So he is a guy that, again, it's kind of tricky because Franklin Barreto is also a middle infielder, and he's ahead of him on the pecking order. But Mateo is more of a speed guy. If you need a speedster, Mateo is someone you might want to look at. And, of course, lastly is Baby Biggio. Kevin Biggio, a 24-year-old, is on the verge of getting called up, guys. This could happen any day. 315, 6 homers, 22 runs, 26 RBIs in 39 games. Craig Biggio's son is a second baseman. He is going to be welcomed in Toronto any moment now. So that's all I have for tonight. This is Chap's Fantasy Chat. I'm Chappy. I come to you Tuesdays at 7. Stop back in an hour. Arnie and I will be talking some more about some things that we got. I think we'll be doing some prospect talking. Always have a great time with Arnie. LennyMelnickFantasySports.com. Thank you, Lenny. Thank you, Andrea. I'll talk to you guys soon. Good night.